Guys, this is me, Brooke Maddings, coming live from Austin, Texas. Hey, today I actually saw a really awesome blog, video that, Scott, his name, yeah, Scott, he did it, and I want to share with you because, he's a newlywed, but also, as we have, as maybe you guys know, me and Ryan Maddings have been together now 2 years, and it's exciting. We've definitely I definitely learned so much. Some things that he mentioned. He's taking a class at church about communication, and that's really awesome. It's definitely like you just want to learn from anybody who's successful. A lot of people that are successful in their marriage, and we've learned from. We've took classes. We've done premarital counseling. We do. I've done monthly. For our first year, we did monthly Dr. Levon and Dr. Jack appointments. That's been powerful, and so it's just an ongoing process. But like one of the things that I wanted to talk about is just wow. I know there's some people out there, so you really, you have not experienced being married. However, there is just, you know what? There is nothing bigger than just being married to put you on like a personal development. We talk about growing, learning. Well, just as soon as you get married, oh my gosh, there's so many things to learn. It's just ginormous, and talk about, God refining you and really refining the parts that you find out. I found out the parts that were super ugly and super nasty and that a lot of people don't want to see. Well, I don't like to show others, but that's my weakness, is so I just wanted to share with you. Being married is a blessing, and definitely takes a lot of work, but it's worth it. And we've had, I think the biggest thing he talked about that Scott was just like that most things, if you just talk about them, it takes learning, especially for me. Like I've had to learn how to just talk and not feel that I'm being not that I'm being discredited or talked down to, because I think that along with me learning how to have a healthy relationship, I've had, my parents were a big role in my life growing up, and seeing them being married for 20 some years and then divorcing when I was in high school, junior year, so I was 17 at the time. That was really huge for me. They had issues, and they separated when I was a little girl, and then they got back together. When I was 8 years old, they separated. And so I saw them fight. I saw their issues. I saw them go through a lot of their hard times. And at times, I think sometimes in the past, I would just forget about it. I would just block it out, like act like it was not happening, afterwards. But then as I was able to heal and grow and realize and detach myself and realize that it's not my fault, it wasn't anything, they still love me, all those things that you tell yourself, but that disassociate and realize that was them, and that it was something in their personal development that they weren't getting, that they didn't realize where they weren't at, and for me to be able to accept them for where they were at and realize that it had nothing to do with me, it really helped me to realize that it wasn't on me. It wasn't, feeling the guilt story or taking on being codependent, taking on other people's emotions that has nothing to do with you. and then you start to just, as it's like a ball of yarn that's all in a ball, and you start to work on one thing, and then you go and you just, it all kind of unfolds as you start to unravel it, and you start to define. I mean, I definitely, I think for me, helped me define who I was growing up. Like, even, I mean, within after high school and the couple of years after, before I got married 2 years ago, because for me, it ended up being where I started looking at, who I was, like, when it came to values, morals, and I started associating and seeing, okay, where did I get this from? Was it from my mom or was it from my dad? And if so, is it good or is it bad? And I started to see, okay, well, this is good, this is bad, or this is actually valuable, and I'll keep that one, but for the things that I realized who it came from, my mom or my dad, and then I realized it was bad or good, and if it was bad and I didn't want to keep it anymore, then I realized, okay, then I don't need to keep that anymore and just throw it away, and let go of it. So then I could just clear my mind and my space and my who I am and realize that's not really who I am, and or I have good work ethic, and I know that that's from my dad, and that's a good thing, so yeah, it really came down to what I believed, and really came down in the nitty gritty, and asking myself, and really taking a big, you know, inner strength of who I was, and seeing, where I was and who I am, um, and a huge self development. So as I'm talking, I started this whole video just to tell you guys about, the huge self development that you will go through as you are married, and then I ended up going on a rant, so it's all good. But I would highly recommend, if you have any, I mean, this is just a part of my story, and I'm here sharing it with you. And if you like this video, you can go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to hear more about my story, then subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, if you guys want to be able to share your story, because I know that everyone out there that you're watching this, you have a story too, and maybe you don't have a story similar to mine. Maybe your parents grew up and you lived in a house that everything was like Leave It to Beaver, and your parents didn't separate, so you don't know what it's like to have a separation in your family. Or I don't know, maybe your parents were a little odd, and you grew up somewhere crazy. I don't know. So, but all I know is that if you want to share your story, you want to tell other people, that, because we'd love to hear your story. You can go ahead and click the link below and get on in to what this is all about, and so you can share your story, and you can set other people free, and you can help the people that are, because your story has an impact, and your story people want to hear, because other people they're waiting for you to step out and to speak your story, so that they can reach out, because they're waiting for you to step up so that they will step up, just like you will step up because I shared my story. So if you want to share your story, and I know you have one, go ahead and click the link below, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye guys.